I'm making a series where I beat the Get Fix Boy Zenith Legendary Monitor Bite Mark Ultra Desk Melee mode, but I am only allowed to use sentries as a main source of damage. This is the fourth video that covers the beginning of hard mode. I have two big rules. 1. Only sentries. I can only deal damage with the weapons classified by sentries by the Wikipedia. I did allow some Shield of Cthulhu / slimy saddle tomfoolery against normal enemies to make this a little bit more convenient, but not against bosses. 2. If I dash into a boss or deal damage with a mount, it was either on accident or it was a strategic tactical play. I'm not restarting boss fights because of non-sentry damage. 3. I will only use the old one's army cheese as a last resort. This video is meant to be as if it were in the same video as the previous 3 videos. If I remember, I'll link a playlist of every Only Sentries video. With the wall officially dead, we get the demon heart, an emblem that will immediately be put into the shimmer, and heck all, frick all, shoot all. Hard mode brings a whole lot to the game, namely a wide range of new accessories, armor, weapons, and a grind to have access to all of it. What will I do first? Surely I'll go break a bunch of altars so I can get armor, or maybe get a weapon so I can fend off the new hard mode enemies that infest the evil biomes? Yeah, let's do that. Fishing quests! Nothing else in a video game will excite me more than Waiting Simulator. The angler does have a small chance to get fish wings and honey sponge, so I'll be returning every day for another chance at the casino. Let's see what's on the menu for hard mode ores. Usually 3 altars should give it away, but 3 times 2 is 6 and 6 is double 3. Never mind 3 because there are 6 ores. Scratch that, 21 ores because 6 times 6 is 36, and note the first number in the number 36, it's 3. And 3 is less than 6, and 6 can't beat 21. However, the number 2 and the number 3 have an affair that results in 6. So what's on the menu? It's 3 times 6 divided by 6 times 3 minus 3, which equals all of them. All of the hard mode ores spawn in the seed. I recently watched the big mining video by Shorebay Cafe and now fully understand that the game is far more enjoyable if you understand what you're doing. Did you know you were able to mine this fast? Well, I did because this was recorded last year. I go up to the neighborhood spider cave to grind for my next weapon. Despite the incredibly limited amount of sentries in the game, there happens to be one at the very beginning of hard mode. And this time it's not a crossover sentry, it's the pure vanilla Spider Queen sentry. It needs 24 spider fangs which drop from those enemies that have a million health. So I use the Goomba Stomp strategy to make this go marginally faster. The Spider Queen staff provides a wide range of abilities, such as shooting a projectile affected by gravity. But it's cool because when it hits something, the projectile doesn't deal damage, but does spawn 2 to 4 new projectiles that do deal damage, and inflict the venom debuff. That's a crazy cool 30 DPS on top of however many spiders spawn. To accompany my new weapon, I make the coolest looking armor in the game. The helmet alone gives more defense than my previous build. Saying that adamantite armor is bad is as embarrassing as admitting you think defeating Daytime Empress is the peak of Terraria gaming. Both of these statements are simply incorrect. And don't even bring titanium into the question. Even it can't beat the amount of aura adamantite emits. Would you rather have epic stat boosts with more movement speed, or have pieces of trash orbit around you? Titanium armor sucks! The correct thing to do is make the titanium pickaxe, because it is better than the adamantite one, then mix armor sets to maximize stat bonuses and defense. None of this is specifically benefiting summon damage, but I have nothing else except for the spider armor, which will severely increase my odds of passing away. Golden bug net. I walk over to my old Brand of Cthulhu arena and it's interesting. I think since I picked corruption during world creation, it replaced most of the crimson with the hollow. I'm looking for the blessed apple, which is a mount that provides extreme horizontal movement. Hold on, my desert is about to perish. My desert pylon is extremely important because of how far I'd have to travel if I didn't have it. So once I create a little barrier, I go back to killing unicorns. Never mind, I am not ready for this. I go back to destroying as many altars as humanly possible because I am lacking funds for reforges. I found that my max mining speed is fantastic for gathering hard mode ores, which sell for a decent amount of money. I also found that sonar potion. I also found that NPCs don't have happiness in the Zenith seed and can't experience good things ever for the rest of time. The happiness game mechanic is just gone, meaning that it doesn't matter who I'll sell to. It's all going to cost the same. I keep on forgetting to get the blessed apple and proceed to clear a large area for a corruption farm. Oh, hello, pirates. Boxing myself in and letting my sentries do an epic will be a common practice when dealing with events. I honestly can't remember why I made a corruption farm. I think it was for the fin wings! Yippee! I think it was for the souls of night. Soul of knights, souls of whatever. I make keys of... What am I doing? What the? Apparently crimson mimics? I only learned this after the recording, but the chosen world evil has little effect on the world. Each day, the quote-unquote main world evil switches in drunk worlds and Zenith's worlds. The first day is always the one chosen in world creation, so if I spawned a mimic in the first day, although impossible, it would have spawned a corrupt mimic, then the next a crimson mimic, then the next a corrupt, and so on. The main world evil also affects which seeds the dryad sells, whatever solution the steampunk sells, NPC dialogue, and angler fishing quests. It's a neat little addition to the playthrough that really won't affect anything. Also, why am I fighting evil kill mimics. I eventually make the spider armor, which... okay. Extra minion slots? If you remember from a while ago, you'd remember that sentries aren't minions. This doesn't help. Although, extra summon damage is really good, and I'm just scared of being sentenced to the 15-second respawn timer again. In fact, I was so scared of the respawn timer that I remember why I was killing crimson mimics. It was for the flesh knuckles that provide an extra 8 defense, or 12 defense if you happen to have sold 69,000 metric pounds of hard mode ore. It was worth to grind for the knuckles so I can masturbate. Why am I still fishing? We're back to fighting mimics to get the putrid scent. It gives a small damage boost and lets nearby enemies know that we buy battle pass tiers. I think it's about time I get more Soul of Knight for more shadow keys to get another set of flesh knuckles. I have all these Souls of Knights but have no Soul of Lights. Is it time to build another underground hollow farm? I really like the look of shimmer in the hollow, especially with all the other funky pink and blue crystals on the walls. I have a deep hatred for hollow farms and a deeper hatred for how I didn't record any construction of the farm. Not even a lick of recording? Maybe spare just a little peep? The last recording ends and the next begins with me sitting AFK grinding for souls. Meanwhile, I'm cleaning out my closet, and as always, I'm listening to an Astral Spiff VOD while doing so. So enjoy the next few minutes of hearing me go through random garbage in my room. What's this? What is this? It's like freaking genital inspection tool or something? Oh, these thumb drugs are so dusty and old. Oh, it smells like a piece of onion on it or something. This 2 enchanted swords, that's tough. Tough, dude. It's funny. Oh, what the frick is this? Yo, I got the swag? Dude, I actually have the sauce. I have the sauce. I'm goated with it, as one would say. Whoa! Oh, I'm blinded by the light. What the... Holy shoes. Oh, I just stepped on scissors. Along with the Souls of Light, I am grinding for the item that caused ungodly amounts of pain in my not-so-recent past. The Rod of Discord. It has a 1 in 500 chance of dropping from Chaos Elementals. But this is Legendary mode, so it's actually 1 in 400. But this is Zenith Seed, which has the Celebration Seed. So the odds are vastly increased to 1 in 100. An entire 1% chance to get a Rod of Discord from an Elemental. I can have a green pen. Screw red or blue pen or black pen. I got green pen. I have 2 green pens for school. I'm gonna use it on the AP test. Got some artwork from my art days. Some art. Exotic butters? I have a key to the old house that I used to live in. Thank you, Astral Spiff, for ranking every jump scare. I'm listening to that right now. Do I have anything of specialty? No, I have this. That's kind of cool, I think. This theoretically shouldn't take that long, but it's me, Marcus Squishy Bluefish. I am notably very bad at getting a Rod of Discord. With all the souls I've collected, I make an absurd amount of mech boss summons that I can't use. I can't just whip out a twins fight, I have to use these summons to make another summon item, Akram's Razor. It summons question mark, which we all know is the Siren from Calamity. The next logical step for game progression is to defeat Anahita, so I begin making a huge arena in the underworld. This is where I finally realize the true power of the Giga Pipe Bomb. I always use normal bombs because they're cheaper, but I have infinity money from all the grinding I did for the Rod of Discord. I use granite platforms because they look cool. I'm not showing the entire arena building process. Is that black ink? I could finally make that one vanity set I've wanted since pre-hard mode. It's the one plague looking guy. It was put in the game based off of Soda Hunter's designs. I paired it with the blue dye to fit with my character's name. Ice! No wonder they call me Ice. Look at this drip. The immaculate drip of this. It frightens me. Iced up and bricked up, I finally get to the arena and use Akram's Razor. Don't tell me where Akram uses their razor, because the frick is that? This is Mechdusa, a feral amalgamation of the 3 mech bosses put together to form something that resembles Cthulhu himself. All those bestiary entries and Terraria theories were correct. The mech bosses reconstruct the huge beast we all know and love. And yes, the destroyer is definitely supposed to be Cthulhu's spine. Theorists are still perplexed as for why Mechdusa spawns with 2 probes. My guess is that it is remnants from the supposed reconstruction of the brain of Cthulhu. In order to progress, you have to kill the entire thing in one run. Otherwise, Plantera bulbs won't spawn. So we are stuck with Screw You McGee until I find a way to kill it. Let's make a nurse house. That might possibly help, maybe? Never mind, it freaking despawns if I'm too far away. My cavern pylon is already in use, so I have to take time to go down the Hecavator whenever I try again. So I build an addition to my secret ice base. It returns from the launched flail playthrough back to shave off 20 seconds every time I die. It's the Ultra Sigma Teleportation Room! Whenever I need to get somewhere in an instant over and over again, I will connect a teleporter to that spot so I spend less time running around. I also remember the pirates! I also remember the blessed apple that I never got. It's a 3.3% drop from unicorns in expert/master/legendary mode, and I got it within a reasonable time frame. It will allow me to escape sketchy situations during any situation that needs it. It's basically just a direct upgrade from the golf cart. Can you please? The funny minecart is so funny. I keep on hitting the mount button next to it, and instead of whipping out 61 miles per hour McGee, it forces me to sit still. I found a brand new speedrun strat for anyone wanting to speedrun ZENITH Only Sentries. All you do is spin cycle and destroy the minecart track. You see, it's a time save because you would be much faster if you pulled out the unicorn instead of the minecart. To be honest, I thought this fight would be way more difficult. The combination of spin cycle and rod of discord makes dodging incredibly easy. Quote unquote easy. The projectiles from the destroyer don't do much damage with my giga defense. However, my damage, I am defense maxing with a weapon that is meant to be a support weapon. Oh, yippee! You can see the giant collection of probes I built up. I don't have crowd control or damage. Okay, well, that heckin' stings. The destroyer doesn't despawn, so let's fast forward. Even though the twins in Prime ran away from my sheer amount of aura emanating from the pores of the Plaguebringer vanity set, I was still able to kill off the destroyer, which unlocks a whole lot of new possibilities. I know what we're gonna do now. After the defeat of one mech boss, the Old One's army gets upgraded to Tier 2. And with Tier 2 comes the first set of Tavern Keep armor. And coincidentally, every single armor set he sells specifically benefits sentries and summon damage. So this will be my next endeavor for the next, couple days. I buy the explosive trap cane for some reason and set off to cheese the old ones again. Finally get to use non-Tavern Keep sentries during the event. It's only the Tavern Keep sentries that use Ethereal mana, so any outsiders are chained to the sentry limit. It still serves as a good amount of extra damage though. Even then, idiot flying goons still tank through it. Throughout all my failed attempts, I am saving up mana. I do get enough defender medals to get something, and I buy a flame burst cane even though I could have just dropped the explosive cane into the shimmer. 200 mana? Is this enough? I don't know, heck it. I was more strategic? Careful? Freaking less willing to spam because it wasn't like I could place 100 sentries like before. 20 sentries was far more than enough. There's also life root that spawn after one mech boss. I grinded to get max health. I'm actually shocked it only took an hour. Dang. I then did some off-camera Old One's army grinding and finally forgot to turn on the recording to show me buying the Squire armor. If you're gonna accuse me of cheating, you'd be wrong. It's attempts at least 5. I finally embraced that comment I made earlier about calling Medusa Feral Amalgamation and actually turn on Feral Amalgamation. What makes this attempt different from other ones is that my entire setup changed, most notably the Squire armor. Each armor set the Tavern Keep sells benefits summon damage and one other class. Apprentice benefits Mage, Huntress Ranger, and both Monk and Squire benefit Melee. And it just so happens that Melee is the class with the most defense, so I naturally went with the Squire armor. This is like the first time I felt any lick of power in this playthrough. But it gets better when the Squire's set bonus not only makes my ballistas better, but finally, after over 40 hours of gameplay, increases my max sentry count from 3 to 5. Comparing my DPS from previous attempts to this one, holy crap, it only took 3.5 minutes for the destroyer to freaking die. Previously, it almost took 20. I have been chained to 3 sentries ever since I first beat the Old One's army, and with 2 extra sentries, I am unstoppable. You'll see throughout the fight that I prioritize preventing the bosses from despawning. I have so much defense that I'm able to tank the projectiles, minus the bombs. The main thing to avoid is contact damage because of its massive damage increase in legendary mode. I switched to flame burst sentries, which was a complete mistake, but at the time I thought that I shouldn't prioritize pierce anymore. I was wrong. It's fine, I switched back to ballistas. It is around here where something petrifying happens. What the heck? Stop! Spaz Bobby Boy begins vigorously projectile vomiting while still running straight towards me. Despite my over 2,000 hours of playing this absolute masterpiece of a game, I haven't yet beaten Medusa once. Therefore, I haven't played a full Zenith Seed playthrough. This playthrough is actually my first introduction to the madness. That's sort of a lie. I played it with Fridge Cheese before, but we didn't beat it. All this is to say, I've never seen Spaz do this. I switched to the Spider Queen sentries because they don't suck and inflict the venom debuff. Both the twins are in second phase, and it honestly doesn't matter. I have a ton of defense and a rod of discord. I am genuinely having a lot of fun just spin cycling. Spaz Bob is the first to fall, then Rentengeezer, and now I am left with an armless Skeletron head who doesn't even spin. This guy is honestly so free. Almost done. The jungle grows restless. That's it. With Medusa Red's wings? That's the guy who made this entire thing. It makes me feel some amount of comfort knowing that he's also trapped in this awful challenge. Although not physically present, he is spiritually present. Now that I have every soul, I make the one and only drill in this playthrough. I do not care what pickaxe mains say about drills. The Drax is by far the most precious item you can obtain in this stage of game progression. This is because if you were to decraft it, it gives you the necessary materials to craft the pickaxe axe. With that done, we max out our mining speed. Wait, since when did I have a hand of creation? Throughout everything in this playthrough, I've been checking in with the traveling merchants to get the components to make the hand, and it's only now I realized I got it. One chlorophyte gaming session later, I make the chlorophyte extractinator. There seems to be a boss that I completely forgot about. It's Queen Slime, and I was supposed to fight her in the beginning of hard mode. Looking back, I should have tried to fight her on the ground so my spider sentries are more effective, but I already beat all the mech bosses, so who cares? First phase is easy, but second phase, it stings. I switched to flame bursts, but I seem to have forgotten what they're best at, missing at point blank range. So I switched back to the spiders, and they don't miss. Neither would the flame bursts if I place them on the top platform, but these guys do more damage. This fight became running simulator. It was easy. I get nothing from the fight except for a new town slime who probably has a lot of diseases. I'm scared. Alright, that's all I can cook up for now. The next Only Sentries video should be Plantera to Lunatic Cultist. Anyways, thank you for watching, and goodbye.